The Property Show, we bring you closer to the industry's major players and captains of industry, from land management to start your foundation, all the way up to furnishing and decorating your property as desired. Modern and luxury living for Rwanda in Rwanda. The Property Show.
Hello once again and welcome to the Property Show, a show that inspires and educates you in our everyday lives. Now, as we all know, real estate development is one of the key pillars to the country's economic development, and the youth plays a huge role to make sure that that happens. But before we get into that, let's start with our interior designing advices and tips. My name is Brenda. Welcome to the Property Show.
The Property Show brings you an in-depth analysis of the country's real estate development, advice and tips from property owners, engineers, and finance entities that will lead you to owning your dream home. The Property Show.
It's no surprise that kids spend most of their times in their bedrooms, maybe sleeping or playing or doing their little works. And so this space should be a reflection of their little personality. This space needs to be comfortable, it needs to be cozy, and it has to be fun. In today's interior designing tips, I'm going to share with you a few things that you should actually put in mind and incorporate in your kids' bedroom. Let's start with the peel and stick decor. Now, this is the one that is so familiar that we are mostly used to because some people are renting. So if it's not your house, then I wouldn't advise you to paint that bedroom because you never know when you're going to move out of that house, or maybe even the owner has some rules and the regulations for his or her space. Doesn't want you to paint colors that she doesn't approve or he doesn't approve. So I would advise you to use the peel and stick. And then make sure that you go with your kids to buy those things because it's them, it's reflecting them. Go with them so that they can choose what they want. And when you get home to hang those peel and sticks that you just bought, let them feel it happening. You can offer helping hand, but it's always best when they have a say and doing into whatever that is going on in their bedroom. Another thing that you need to know about the peel and stick, it's very easy because when the kids get tired of them, then you just peel it off and then you put on something else. So that is a good idea. But as your kids get older, he or she needs an area designed for focused schoolwork and another area to relax and daydream. You don't need anything more, just a simple desk and adjustable chair is enough for homework time. And a comfortable chair, probably a beanbag or love seat is perfect for downtime after a hard day at school. Another idea that I want to share with you is using open shelves. Now, young kids and mice go hand in hand, but then there is a way to make sure that it's organized almost all the time. Yes, you can achieve it by using open shelves. You can have the open shelves, then put in bins or baskets. This makes it easy to access belongings and most importantly, makes it easy to see where each toy goes when playtime is over for the day. And when you're doing it, make sure your kid is watching, make sure that they know, they get to learn that actually this goes here, this goes here, and this goes here. Now, we all know that every closet needs organization, but when it comes to kids' closets, it's a tricky one, it's really hard. But then there's these things that you can do to make sure that you actually have that organization going on. What you can do is provide hanging loads that are lower enough so that your son or your daughter can easily reach the hangers. Shelves for larger items and drawers for socks and wares and accessories. And always remember to label the drawers because this is going to make it easier for them to know what goes where and what goes where. What normally causes the chaos in a closet is looking for something that you don't know where that thing is. So you end up putting everything up and down. But if you label the shelves, now they know where to find this and where to find that and where to find that. and that will make it so easy for them and even easier for you to clean up after them. Another thing that you can do, you can put on something that they can step on while reaching for something that is a little bit higher than them. And please always remember to keep it simple, because the kids grow so fast, and the more they grow up, the more they want more things and they want to change. So make sure that you keep it simple every time you decorate or redecorate your kids' bedroom. Real estate and construction in Rwanda have been growing steadily, contributing up to 70% of the country's GDP. This sector has attracted youth to acquire skills required to make a difference in this industry that shall foresee the reduction of unemployment among the youth in the country that currently stands at 21% as of last year. This is an impressive turnaround, considering Rwandans did not see this as a career in the 90s.
When we were growing up, our parents did not mention much about architecture, and they kept mentioning about when you grow up, the professional fields that you can take is engineering, you can do medicine. Well, that could be much because they did not either know about it much, or they weren't really familiar with the field. But when I grew up, I also wanted to be an engineer, and I grew up, and when I got to my university, I did engineering. It's until that year, when I was in my university first year, that I got to know about architecture. What really inspired me to do architecture was that I did a deep research about the field. I came to find out that it's really an interesting field, because you spend hours working on something, and right after those hours you can really present what you've been doing, and people were really appreciating what I was doing. So it was a field that was required you to design something, come up with a structure. And what pushed me more to do this field was that it was giving me an opportunity to play in the role of developing my country, whereby one of the pillars of our development is that building a sustainable infrastructure. So it was an opportunity for me to play a direct role, a visible role, and join the struggle in developing my country.
Though architecture seems as a wide market for youth to venture in, it does not necessarily mean that it's for everyone, as it requires certain skills and qualities.
I wouldn't say it's a field for everyone, because it requires a certain qualities for you to qualify in that field. And I would say yes. Why I would say yes is that whoever you can be, as long as you have those qualities, yes, you can proceed, you can manage and qualify in that field. If you don't have the qualities, it's like any other field. If you don't have the qualities that field requires, you can never be successful in it. First of all, you must have passion for that field. You must love what you're venturing into. If you don't love it, you're not going to succeed. Architecture is a very demanding profession. It's demanding in terms of time, it's demanding in terms of finance. Back at school, when I was starting my architecture year, I remember we used, in a day, instead of having 24 hours, we had 48 hours in a day. So 1 hour could consist of 2 hours. So if you don't have the passion, you cannot really manage it. So you cannot do it. Other qualities are, you must have the confidence. In the architecture life, you'll always meet a situation where you need to do key decisions. And if they're not approached in a manner where you have confidence, you won't manage it. Every design you do will be rejected because you're not presenting it with a certain confidence. Next quality is that you must be at least creative. You must come up with something that stands out. If you don't have something that stands out, you can push for some time, but again, you always need that thing that stands out so that you can qualify. Another point that quality that is very important is you must be flexible. The profession demands flexibility at a very high level. Why? With designs, all designs are subject to changes. Why are they subject to changes? Is that you're not only designing for yourself, you're designing for a certain individual, you're designing for a certain society, and those societies have their needs, they have their point of views. They have to feed in their ideas in your design. You have to be really flexible to accommodate those ideas, work with them, last minute changes, be ready to work with last minute changes and do something good.
Construction and real estate involves different professions, and to understand the role of everyone involved in this sector, from drawing up to completion of a project, we streamline this profession. However, in Rwanda, the competition of professions is still low.
Kigali in particular, there's a lot, following the master plan, there's a lot that we expected to accomplish. So it's the right time where now architecture is coming in, that we are needed to develop, come up with new ideas. So it's a fresh, I would say it's not really a fresh start, but there are many opportunities that are open for us.
Growing up in our society, blue-collar jobs such as architecture were never looked at as an option for kids to pursue in school, as not so many knew what exactly it was.
So to understand what an architect does, one would first need to understand what's really architecture. Architecture is the art or science, like engineering, like medicine, whereby we create spaces to answer specific needs of your client. When I say client, is the person who comes to you. It might not be someone paying, or it might not be someone who really knows that he needs those services, but you answer and provide a space. When I say space, it starts from simply like a space under a tree whereby you need to sit and relax. It goes up to big mega structures, it goes up to designing cities. So that's architecture. We provide spaces that answer to specific needs of our clients. So an architect now, coming into an architect looks at, understands the dreams of the client, understands the dynamics of the works, the functions that are taking place around your client. And then we extrapolate and create a specific improved space that can answer to those needs that you need. You might not be knowing about the needs, but from our training we learn and know what you really need and create a space. So we give you what you want.
Like in any other profession, architects face challenges such as their clients not knowing that they need their services.
Challenges that I've met before in starting this field was that like I said, it's a really demanding field. It demands a lot of your time. Like I said earlier, it takes in your day 1 hour is 2 hours, which makes 48 hours. While others are going to rest, sleep, that's when ideas are coming, that's when you're drawing. It used to cut us from our friends, because you cannot go enjoy, have a good time with your friends, yet you have something to do, yet you have something to design. So it is a demanding field, but with time you get used with it. Challenges that we face in the professional field is that people have not yet got to know about architecture. So they ask you, what do you do? I'm an architect. You are an architect, so what do you do? So to start from there, people don't actually know what you're doing, so they can't offer you a certain service that they need. But with time, people are understanding and what we do, and they're really getting to call in architects to work on their projects, and that's where we're getting quality projects.
Providing quality services, good conduct, and Rwandan values should be every profession's keywords in order to promote and excel in their respective domains, but also determination to overcome some of the challenges they face on a daily basis.
Architects, as we keep doing good projects, people get to know about the field, and that's what each and every architect, his or her responsibility to do. Another thing is that also our institute, is working very hard also to make sure that they get to know about the field. So with that all done, our field in the future will get to be known, and people will approach architects to assist them to develop their ideas or to make their dreams come true. My contribution to this field is, first of all, my dream is that I need to see one day when I'll be sitting somewhere like in a restaurant, I want to hear a parent when he's advising his or her child about what profession they can take in the future to mention architecture. So in that to happen is that I will have first to show what is really architecture. Right now, in this opportunity I've had a chance to mention what is really architecture so that people get to know. So I'm actually contributing as we speak. Another way I'm contributing in this field is that providing quality work. Quality works like these ones that you can see right behind us, works that stand out, works that everyone sees and understands what is architecture, understands what do we do, and then gets inspired to mention it.
I hope that you, the youth that are watching, you actually learned something. All you need to succeed in this sector is determination, it's passion, and knowing what you want. And I'm telling you, nothing that is going to stop you. In today's advices and tips, I'm going to share with you some important factors that you need to focus on when buying a piece of land. Now, we all know about the Kigali Master Plan, we all know about the secondary cities master plans and all that. So if you're going to buy a piece of land, make sure you're in line with that. If this place that you're buying, is it for commercial, is it residential, make sure that what you want to do with the piece of land that you're buying, it's in line with where you're buying that piece of land from. If the land next door could potentially develop into a warehouse or a 5-story apartment building, it might not be the best option for you to build that dream home for you and your family. Another factor that you need to consider is the climate. You need to know the climate of the area where you're going to buy a piece of land. The climate affects many aspects of your life, including how to insulate your home, the types of plants and vegetables that you can grow, potential for drought, frost, and other extreme weather conditions, and even health conditions like asthma that are really affected by temperature. Another factor that you need to look into when buying a piece of land is the soil composition and the quality. When it comes to building, soil composition can impact the cost of building foundations, stability, and land retention. Here I would suggest for you to get a local certified engineer to come and test that soil for you so that you know before you actually finalize your payment for that piece of land. And lastly, incline. There are a few things that you need to consider if this piece of land is on a steppy incline. You have to know that if you buy this piece of land that is on a sloping incline, you won't have much of a choice of orienting your house. You might just have one view and that's it. All this needs to be considered carefully before finalizing your purchase. The Taipei 101, formerly known as the Taipei World Financial Center, is a landmark super tall skyscraper for Taiwan. Taipei 101 comprises of 101 floors above ground as well as 5 basement levels. It was not only the first building in the world to break the half-kilometer mark in height, but also the world's tallest building from March 2004 to 10th March 2010. The building was officially classified as the world's tallest building in 2004 and remained as such until the completion of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai in 2010. In 2011, the building was awarded LEED Platinum certification, the highest awards according to the Leadership in Energy and Environment Design rating system, and became the tallest and the largest green building in the world. The tower has served as an icon of modern Taiwan ever since its opening. The building was architecturally created as a symbol of the revolution of technology and Asia tradition. Its postmodernity approach to style incorporates traditional design elements and gives them modern treatments. The Taipei 101, it's a multi-level shopping mall joining the tower houses hundreds of stores, restaurants, and clubs. In today's luxury living, I'm going to talk about this fabric that we always stay away from, and that's velvet. Let me tell you, a piece of furniture that is made out of velvet or accessories, they bring in richness, they bring in luxury, they bring in a romance and everything good actually, but we always tend to stay away from it because of the mentality of what we've been hearing over the years. Well, stay with me because I'm about to change that for you. Velvet attracts attention and harmonizes the contemporary style. The texture and the flow of this fabric creates magic effect for the velvet that blends in with any interior design. Even just having one piece of velvet in the room can change it dramatically. This mystery material is sumptuous, yet it's durable. It oozes the luxury and style. Velvet can transform even the simplest sofa into a lavishing statement piece, but velvet can also be intimidating. Velvet seduces the senses and brings them deep in life. Here's how you can incorporate this fashionable material in your home. You're going to ask yourself, why does velvet look so good in the dark or moody spaces? It's because velvet snaps allow light to reflect at a multiple 90 degrees angle, creating that luxurious, luminous sheen velvet is famous for. And if you love drama in your life, we all once in a while we want to be the center of attention. That's why actually most of the designers are drawn to this velvet, because of how it brings out that richness and that elegancy. It's so good that you can't actually stay away from it if you love attention. Velvet is a very thick and heavy material which makes many people, even designers, worry of the fabric. But these attributes don't have to be flaws. If you need to bring the romance in a certain space, you have to go with velvet. Trust me on this one, because the fabric looks good in almost all the colors. But here I would suggest you go with the cool tones, because these cool tones, when they're now in velvet, they bring that feminine touch. They bring that cool, beautiful tone that you can't resist. Thank you so much for being part of the property show, and for you who has a property that you would like us to feature in our show, all you have to do, go to our social media platforms and let us know, and we will be glad to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. I was your host Brenda, and I wish you well.